As long as we come on air every evening, the whole world must listen. As long as we preach this very gospel, Chukwukika Abiyama must be with us. Therefore, without any further hesitation, we must proceed to offer every prayer to Chukwu Okike Abiyama who resided in heaven. Therefore, as we always commence, not from today, but from of old, our Father who art in heaven, Nnamdi Kanu, ka aha gị dị nsọ, that your name may be hallowed by men, that we may bow at the mention of it, that we may offer every glory unto thee, that we may offer you every adoration and adulation, because there is none like thee. You fight our battles for us. Every blessed day you demonstrate through your kindness and your everlasting mercy that you are our Lord, our God, and our Creator. This evening we offer these your children unto thee. All over this very planet that you created, they are listening across the entire 24 time zones on this very planet where they inhabit. They are listening to your gospel this very evening, this gospel of redemption, a gospel of hope, a gospel of restoration, a gospel of renewal, this very gospel of freedom, this very gospel of emancipation as only you ordained, that this very gospel must be preached, that mankind may be set free from the eternal damnation of the creation of the British. My goodness me, I want to remain in the spirit, because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have spilled, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, O Lord of hosts, to have mercy upon us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Bafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day. Chukwu Abiyama believe we're whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist. You opened your mouth, to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace. Under our command, O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoko. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy. Because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All this we pray, all this we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
remain adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As a continent, as I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle, as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, we are finding, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of how the Nigerian government has been dealing with this agitation, I believe, or I think, if they were to avoid the situation that they're finding themselves in, they really should have addressed the issue of why there was a Biafran war. There was a Biafran war, rather, in the first place. As it is, they are taking the Paul Biya approach of assuming everything is fine because we're in Lagos, while everything is not fine. People continue to die. You continue to apply the colonial methodology of handling protests, and that is arresting people arbitrarily, disappearing people arbitrarily. For a very long time, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is. That should not happen in this day and age. For a very long time, I don't know how many Biafrans have disappeared, how many have run from their homes, fearing persecution or fearing death. And that is a very old, very archaic way of dealing with these protests. Most of these African governments could have benefited and could have avoided this crisis if they came forth and asked the people, what is it we can do for you? Where did we go wrong? How can we institute healing to begin in the Biafran region to start with? How can we make sure that we set up, even if it's a ministry, or talk to the Ministry of Devolution, because Nigeria was one of the countries that started the federal system in Africa, and yet you have people with no roads. It makes zero sense, and that is a very bad conviction on devolution in Africa. So as it is, I think the onus is on the Nigerian government, first of all, to understand why there was a Biafran war in the first place, understand why it still goes on, ask the people what they want, and as it is right now, if they asked the people 10 years ago, the needs will be different, because right now all they want is a referendum. All they want is a referendum, and if they get that referendum, they're going to get out of Nigeria. They're going to vote and ratify that they need to be separate from Nigeria. The thing that the federal government of Nigeria fears about this is because they'll lose most of their resources and they'll lose most of their manpower and that skilled labor. This is something they should have addressed, to prevent the anthills building a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that. You said if probably the federal government of Nigeria will have asked the people of Biafra what they want 10 years ago, things would have been different. Maybe the needs would have been different, but as it is today, the only call, and it remains so, is a referendum and nothing short of it. Let me hear from Linda Alela what you have to say about it. How can we heal the divide in Nigeria, more so with the Biafra crisis?
All right. Thank you so much, Tawish. Of course, the rest of the panel and the viewer. I've just gone an extra mile to try and understand all this crisis. It's a bit of history in Nigeria. And the Biafra problem is more than meets the eye. And it has gone to a level whereby I would say, it's a point of no return. I was looking to some report, or maybe at some reports that were suggesting that maybe in the year 2023 or years to come, Nigeria is likely to split even more into not just having Biafra on this other end, but a couple of others, around six
states.
Yes, over 6 states. So that is to tell you there's a big problem in Nigeria, not just in Biafra land. Maybe the few people of Biafra have realized how capable they are. They are learned to a level whereby they know very well that they can govern themselves. They have tried in the federal system. They have traditional and local leaders where you find the Igwes, and they've realized how possible it is for them to be able to work out things as a people. They enjoy the numbers, the people of Biafra. You know very well that they have a huge population that can literally actually form and sustain a country, for that matter. There's the question of resources, proper resources coming from the region of Biafra, talking about the Igbo, of course talking about the oil, that of course the external hand has major interest on. So then when you look at the question of Biafra, you start asking yourself, what is ailing Nigeria at large? Is it the problem with leadership? And if it is so, then it is not just the leadership of Buhari. This is leadership that has failed right from the word go, right from the previous governments that have been in place. Yeah. But it is always incumbent upon the existing government to address some of these issues, to address some of these key issues. So when there is proper agitation, for that matter, it is absurd to come out and, label these people as militant, as a militant organization, as opposed to sitting down as the president and trying to understand why is it that these people now want out. And moving forward, if giving them out would be a solution, why not? Why don't we just organize a referendum for them to vote whether they are going to succeed or not? Then we get to know the way moving forward. So as we speak right now, I think it's almost impossible or very hard to actually govern a country that is affiliated in lines with tribe, in lines with language, in lines with religion. It becomes very difficult. And even worse is that, you as a person would always find yourself lying in supporting the side that you belong. And I think that is what Buhari has portrayed for a long time, that he's failed to look at the
The United States of America is a steadfast supporter of the principles that people have a right to choose their own form of government. Nations have a right to choose their own alliances. There are inalienable rights governments must protect. The rule of law must be cherished. Sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states must be respected.
The UN Charter and its principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, human dignity, and the right to self-defense, these principles are universal and we must uphold them. International law must be protected always and everywhere, without any ambiguity, in Ukraine, in the Middle East, and everywhere in the world. This is our global responsibility.
Self-preservation must be protected at all costs. Today, the Biafra Liberation Army have neutralized dozens of these terrorists in our land, and we are proud of them. They will continue to go down. Our demand is very simple. Pull them out of Biafra land. Remove every checkpoint. If you do not dismantle all the checkpoints, they will continue to die. We will continue to excel. We will continue to deal with Nigeria, and Nigeria will never ever remain the same until Biafra exits from Nigeria. A government that uses violence will be responded with the same and equal measure of violence in self-defense. So I told them, oh my God, here is not taken. I will turn to a beast and Biafra will come. Nigeria has no rule of law. Their rule of law is gun and bullet. And we have come to resist it. My fellow Biafrans, the world leaders made it very clear that self-preservation is a must. They use the word must. And it should be protected at all costs. At all costs.
Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, all over the world, you are welcome to this very live presentation. Today's date is 20th of June 2024, and of course, we are live and direct. The time right now is exactly 19 minutes past 9 p.m. here in the land of the blessed, land of Biafra, in the land that Chukwokika Biama has blessed and gave to our ancestors. We have come to do the needful this very evening. Believe you me, I will not take your time. I want this very live broadcast to be very, very brief this very evening. You all are highly welcome. We are going to do this together. Of course, the voice you are hearing right now is the voice of your one and only brother, comrade, Ordinary. We have come to do the needful this very evening because it is very, very necessary. There is this very word that says, Anoba Joso Abaya Jebe. A desperate time always require, a desperate moment always requires a desperate measures. Please, can you hear my voice? If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. Very, very important. If you can hear my voice, kindly let me know in the comment section so that we can proceed. As always, I do not trust the network. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. We are currently on a desperate moment in our lifetime. Therefore, we must use desperate measures to sort them out. Anybody who tells you otherwise is lying to you. That person neither want your freedom or want you alive. That person is either want your freedom, that person is neither want your freedom nor want you alive.
Remain adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissent as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially...
Can you hear me, please? Is my voice coming out clear? If you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section. As always, I do not trust the network. Please, there is no need of, rushing out from the broadcast. Okay. I can see coming out clear. If you stop hearing from me or hearing my voice, kindly let me know immediately so that I can be able to refresh my system, and then the gospel continues. Because emelenu emelani, This very gospel will be preached. It doesn't matter what the enemies do. It doesn't matter what they can do. The gospel must be preached. I know very, very well that the enemies are not comfortable with our activities. The enemies are not very, very happy with what we do. They are not comfortable with what we are doing, how we are debunking their evil lies and propaganda. They are not happy with our not just existence, but our presence on the media. So therefore, they can do everything humanly possible to silence us. But I always let them know that as long as Chukwukikabiam is on our side, there is nothing anybody can do to stop us or to silence us.
Go, go, go! You are trying, push! Go!
Remain adamant that probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time, they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest migrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, we are finding, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of how the Nigerian government has been dealing with this agitation, I believe, or I think, if they were to avoid the situation that they're finding themselves in, they really should have addressed the issue of why there was a Biafran war. There was a Biafran war, rather, in the first place. As it is, they are taking the Paul Biya approach of assuming everything is fine because we're in Lagos, while everything is not fine. People continue to die. You continue to apply the colonial methodology of handling protests, and that is arresting people arbitrarily, disappearing people arbitrarily. For a very long time, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is. That should not happen in this day and age. For a very long time, I don't know how many Biafrans have disappeared, how many have run from their homes, fearing persecution or fearing death. And that is a very old, very archaic way of dealing with these protests. Most of these African governments could have benefited and could have avoided this crisis if they came forth and asked the people, what is it we can do for you? Where did we go wrong? How can we institute healing to begin in the Biafran region to start with? How can we make sure that we set up, even if it's a ministry, or talk to the Ministry of Devolution, because Nigeria was one of the countries that started the federal system in Africa, and yet you have people with no roads. It makes zero sense, and that is a very it's a very bad conviction on devolution in Africa. So as it is, I think the onus is on the Nigerian government, first of all, to understand why there was a Biafran war in the first place, understand why it still goes on, ask the people what they want, and as it is right now, if they asked the people 10 years ago, the needs will be different, because right now all they want is a referendum. All they want is a referendum, and if they get that referendum, they're going to get out of Nigeria. They're going to vote and ratify that they need to be separate from Nigeria. The thing that the federal government of Nigeria fears about this is...
All right. I believe we are back. Please, if you are hearing me, let me know in the comment section. It's just exactly what I was saying before the voice disappeared. Please, if you can hear me now, let me know so we can continue immediately without further hesitation. We don't have to waste any further time. All right. Of course, as usual, I have to welcome some of you that I have seen your comments in the comment section, starting from the beginning. Rising Sun, you are welcome. Kasarachi, I can see you. Ali Saudwa, you are welcome. Stelo Zwaka, you are welcome. Chidimma, you are welcome. Christian Wonga, you are welcome. Lolo Ego Yibo, I can see you. Antonia Nweke, Victor Mbwemena, Onyenkem, you are welcome. Mag Nwoha, you are welcome. Eze, thank God, I can see you. Total Connection. On Rode, you are welcome. Jonathan, you are welcome. William Elui, you are welcome. Philip Mensah, can see you. Kevin Promise, you all are highly welcome to this very live presentation. Please, if I do not mention your name, do not be dismayed. Do not worry. In one way or the other, I might bring your comment to the screen and, of course, acknowledge you. You all are highly welcome. Diana Ogumbi, you are welcome. Ogumbi, Diana, you are welcome. Ebube Chukwu, I can see you. Chuks Sonny, you are welcome. Anthony Weke, you are welcome. Hillary, you are welcome. Okay. The comments keep coming thick and fast, and of course, we have to continue without any further hesitation because of our time. As you can see, we came a little bit late this very evening. And just like as I promised, we are not going to waste your time. Let us continue immediately. And of course, we have some video clips to show you this very evening and then analyze them. Please, once you are welcome, you endeavor to welcome others. Once you are here, you have to welcome others. And of course, like and share the video, the broadcast, that others may be notified that we are live and direct. We need more people in the studio to join us. This very broadcast is going to be interactive one, and of course, question and answer. If there is anything that you do not understand, if there is anything that complicates your understanding, please, you must bring it to us this very evening, and I want to promise you that we are going to address it. We are going to address all your questions and concerns. Make sure that you write them down so that you can be able to ask them once the line is open. I'm going to be sharing the link as soon as possible for our people to join me live in the studio and make their contribution. So we've got a couple of videos this very evening to address. But before then, let me first of all play. Remember, if you were here yesterday before our PM came live on air, we were addressing our Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu's video. If you were here, please, if you were here yesterday evening, please let me know in the comment section. Just indicate by commenting I was here, or just write yes. I want to see those of you who were here yesterday. You will have a special treat. If you were here yesterday evening before our PM came live, just say yes in the comment section. I want to know those of you who were here and of course give you a special recognition. If you were here, make sure you are truthful. If you were here. So why I ask this very question is because we are going back to the root. We are going to start with the video that we were addressing yesterday before Mazi Simon Ekpa came on live Twitter space. Wow, okay, almost all of you were here. Almost all of you were here. All right. All right, we have to continue without wasting any time. You can see the video on the screen. We have to continue. There is something that I really want to address. I really want to address something. And I'm not going to dwell in this. I'm not going to take your time because we have other videos to address moving forward before the link will be shared in the comment section for Biafrans to join me here in the studio. So let's continue immediately. Like as I said before yesterday, I don't want to analyze what transpired from beginning. I don't want to analyze anything from beginning. Let's just watch. I will tell you, I'm going to start analyzing it from the very, stage that I stopped yesterday before our PM came live. So I'm not going to analyze anything. I know exactly what happened, like as I said before yesterday, but let's continue. So I can win insecurity. Insecurity. Oh, Diego. All right, let's continue. You are the only person that can address it. From my own assessment, I may be wrong. I'm telling you. That's the only person. Every other thing has failed. Every other thing has failed. That is where we stopped yesterday, I believe. Barrister Lawyer Jimako said, every other thing has failed. Both the DOS, it started with DOS. Like as I told you yesterday, there are two types of insecurity as far as the zoo is concerned. In Biafra land, I'm not talking about insecurity other places like in the north, west, and other places. In Biafra land, there are only two types of insecurity in Biafra. The number one, the first most dangerous insecurity in Biafra land today, in the eyes of the zoo government and of course their representatives in Biafra land today, is sit at home. That is the most dangerous insecurity in Biafra land today, where they call Southeast and some part of South. The deadliest insecurity today is sit at home. Okwa sit at home anyị na-emelo onwe anyị. Sit at home anyị na-emelo onwe anyị without, problem, without complaint, without calling anybody to come to our rescue. If anyị na-emelo onwe anyị with obi ọcha has become the worst and most dangerous insecurity in the eyes of the zoo and their representatives in Biafra land. You know why? Because when they tell you, like somebody was in the Zoom yesterday, hiding under, I love Biafra, I want freedom. But they say by their what? We shall know them. There's something, even it's in the Bible. By their actions, is it by their actions or by their words we shall know them. Somebody help me in the comment section. There is that word, by their something, we shall know them. I forgot by their words, something there. There's something there. By their action, we shall know them. Or by their words, we shall know them. A one Nigerianist, by their fruit, we shall know them. Thank you. Thank you, FB Global. By their fruits, we shall know them. Somebody disguised himself, claiming to be a lover of freedom in the Zoom yesterday. Not in the Zoom, on Twitter Space yesterday. Claiming to be a lover of freedom. Questioning our modus of operandi, why we are, ordering for sit at home. Because he said he has 150 million naira investment in Biafra land. So he's not comfortable with our sit at home because of his business investment. So now, another thing he said that he doesn't care. First of all, he called himself a humanitarian. And then he said he doesn't care about what is happening in the Northeast. Oh, you don't care, right? You don't care about what is happening in the North, but you called yourself a humanitarian. Let's keep that one apart. Let's keep that one apart. Now he said that his business worth 150 million naira in Southeast. And that is the reason why he is against insecurity. So, my brother, of course, your money, 150 million naira, is your hard-earned money, right? Very, very huge amount of money. If naira was, useful, but of course, the naira has become useless. So if the naira was useful and you have 150 million naira investment, that means you have money. Oh, 160 million. Thank you. Ugeze, thank you. So if naira was useful and you've got 160 million naira investment in Biafra land, that means you are doing very, very well. You are big. So that money, in as much as it's useless, even though it is useful, and you have this business, knowing fully well that your type is just 1 in a million, knowing fully well that your type of person that has such money and such investment is just 1 in a million, it's not a rampant thing. So you value that your asset, you value that your investment over the freedom of the people, of your own people. Let's get it right. You've got 160 million naira investment in the Southeast, fine, no problem about that. So you value that of course, when you fight so hard, you hustle so hard to make money, you have to value it. But are you telling me that you are right to value that your money and your investment over the freedom of your old people, of your entire generation? Your people. That means you are not just stupid. You are not just selfish, but you are stupid. Not you listening to me, but anybody with such mindset. So now, these type of people are the people that we have in the government of the zoo. And not only that, the reason why sit at home has become the most dangerous insecurity in Biafra land today is because we have proven to the whole world that Biafran people want freedom from the Zoological Republic. We have proven to the whole world beyond every reasonable doubt that these people that gallivant everywhere claiming to be political leaders of our land are irrelevant. They are useless as shit. And in the Western world, when the people lose confidence in you, pay attention. In the Western world, when the people lose confidence in you, you have no moral right to continue occupying the office that you occupy as a public servant. I want you to understand it very, very clear. If you are a government official and the people you are representing, the people you are governing, lose confidence in you, you have no moral right to continue representing them. You have no moral right to stand as their representative or as their governor or whatsoever. No right. That is the reason why you see government officials resigning anyhow in the Western world. Small protest, small thing, they will resign. And here in the zoo, in Africa, we'll be asking, why is he resigning? Because of what? They understand that when people lose confidence in them, they are finished. So they will humbly and respectfully resign. That is how it is. So, and these idiots that parade themselves as political leaders in our land today, they understand this, even though they cannot resign because they have African mentality, black man mentality, even though they can't resign, but they know the kind of shame that, you know, that is upon them, because the world is watching. You understand this? So what do? That is the reason why it is a problem for them. They first of all gave us DOS Nigeria. They gave us DOS Nigeria Limited. We defeated them. After we defeated the DOS Nigeria Limited, they gave us other political, jobbers, Iran boys, such as one of the persons that I'm going to bring to the screen very, very soon. We defeated them. They gave us Senate. We defeated them. Now is the military. Remember, I didn't count the governors. They gave us the governors when Soludo them. Ifanyobi is in the Senate. The likes of Ifanyo, Soludo, Hope Uzodimma, Peter Mba, all of them. We defeated them. Senate came. We defeated them. Now is the presidency. So, that is the reason why Barrister Aloye Jimako said, everything has failed. Some of you do not understand that word. Not that you do understand the English word, but you don't understand what he meant. Chai! Oh my goodness me. Apato yina womb. I'm having goosebumps all over my body. Barrister Aloye Jimako said something very, very significant, that everything has failed. Let's hear that again.
Insecurity, you are the only person that can address it. From my own assessment, I may be wrong. I'm telling you. That's the only person. Every other thing has failed.
Every other thing has failed. Like as I said yesterday, I don't want to analyze that place, because if I try to analyze it, so many things will come up. That the meaning of that, everything has failed. Let's just continue. There are so many things involved, because they used every avenue, including people. There are people who meant well for this struggle. The likes of Aloy Ejimako. There were people that meant well for our freedom. There were people that meant well for this very struggle, but they convinced them and used them. Yet, it never stopped us. It did not stop us. That is the reason why Barrister Aloy Ejimako has told us that every other thing has failed. Now, let us continue.
So I can win insecurity.
So I can enwe insecurity na banyi. The answer was not yes or no, but the answer was you are the only person that can stop it. There is a reason for that, and I don't want to analyze it. Let's continue.
Insecurity, you are the only person that can address it. From my own assessment, I may be wrong. I'm telling you. That's the only person. Every other thing has failed. I don't think. So, it requires your force of character.
It requires your force of character. This whole thing you see here, this whole scenario has two ways. It has two ways. And the most important way, the most important reason of this whole thing is for the word that MNK is going to say. There are some people who are confused with what MNK said, which is going to say in this very video. A lot of people, millions, thousands, if not millions, are confused till today. That's why it's very, very important that they come here. Even though we came late, please, I want you to hit the share button and like button. I want more people to join this very broadcast. Very, very important, because a lot of people are confused. Somebody said, was in on stage said, including letter writing. Yes, they utilize every avenue. Now, the main purpose, I'm not going to fully analyze it in order not to spoil something. But the main purpose, the main reason of all these things you see from this video is because of what Nnamdi Kanu is going to say moving forward. So a lot of people are confused. Some of them thought that Nnamdi Kanu has deviated. Some of them thought that Nnamdi Kanu is no longer with us, or with Mazi, is no longer with Mazi Simon Ekpa, or is no longer in support of Biafra agitation. No, 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 absolutely wrong. There is a reason. I wish no if any nekayeku. Now, let's continue.
On them, the sincerity. That's your reason. I want you to understand. Your force of that thing has failed. It requires your force of character. On them, the sincerity. That's your reason. I want you to understand that. Because IPob was founded on a non-violent principle. And we maintain that up until this very day. And everything, of course. And some of these soldiers, we are told, are also our people. Is that correct? Yes. And the family is now in mourning. Yes. So all the making of young widows is condemned in its entirety. I don't want it. I don't want anybody to die. Yes. We are fighting for freedom. Then how can we fight for death at the same time? It's not possible. We want people to be free. That's what we're fighting for. Nothing more. We've suffered a lot in Africa. I don't know if you know that. Africans have suffered.
Nnamdi Kanu said it is condemnable whatsoever that we do not, condone making people widow. What do you expect? I'm asking you a question. You're listening to me now. What do you expect? Of course, on a neutral terms, on a neutral ground, it is condemnable making people young women widows. It's condemnable. It's condemnable, for sure, no doubt about that. On a neutral ground, it is condemnable, but not when war is concerned. Because maybe as it stands today, nobody has told Nnamdi Kanu that the zoo government and the military has declared asymmetric and jungle warfare against the Biafran people. Nobody has told him. He's not aware. I can beat my chest and say he's not aware of it. Nnamdi Kanu is not aware that Musa, that happens to be the chief of defense staff of the damnable Zoological Republic, has publicly on media declared jungle warfare and asymmetric warfare in Biafra land. And there is one thing he said that I analyzed a couple of days ago, that everybody is their enemy. Our Prime Minister said he listened to all the media analysis, but he didn't hear anybody talked about when Musa said he is worried. I'm sorry, I talked about it. I really, I listen to, when I'm listening to news or video, when I'm watching videos, especially when it comes to Biafra liberation movement, if I want to work on a particular video, I watch that video and listen to it from beginning till the end with passion. I make sure that I don't just pick words, I pick the meaning, the true meanings, not the meaning of the grammar, not the meaning of the English spoken, English word being spoken. I pick the true meaning from the mind of the person, the mind of the speaker. I listen very, very attentively. So I listened to Musa, and I picked the word from the mind of Musa and from the idiot that interviewed him, which is a show of Chinese television. I analyzed it. Maybe Prime Minister was listening, but he didn't, pick when I was analyzing it. Maybe he was a kind of distracted or busy as at that time. So I did. And if you had me saying it, if I ask you to say yes, I'm sure you're going to say yes, because those of you who were here when I was analyzing it had me. As I'm talking, self, Ebere Okafor, let me bring the comment to the screen. Ebere Okafor said, maybe PM didn't listen to yours. That's why he said so. Thank you. Then another person, Ugeze the boy, said, Biafra Unite TV, you were the first person to say it. Thank you. All right, we have to continue. So I said it. I really, really said it for sure, because I was sure about it. Now, moving forward, Nnamdi Kanu is not aware that Musa has declared jungle warfare and asymmetric warfare against the Biafran people. Nobody told him about that. So, like as I said before, it is condemnable on a neutral ground, making people or young ladies widow. Very, very condemnable. But not when a war has been declared against the people. That is the truth. That is the truth. Because when war is declared against you, you do no longer know whether the person you are confronting is a married man or, a single man, or what do you call the other one? A man who is, aged enough to get married, but he has not married. A bachelor. You don't know who is confronting you, whether he's a bachelor or he's married. You have to defend yourself. So that is how it is. Now, Nnamdi Kanu said, we condemn it in totality. I am in support of it, 100%, because in this place, we don't support violence. But when you come to us with violence, the only way we can defend ourselves is to respond in the same manner that you have come to confront us. You cannot confront us with AK-47 and expect us to respond with sticks. It doesn't happen. You cannot confront us with machete and expect us to respond to you with spoons and fork. It doesn't happen. When you confront us with AK-47, you cannot confront us with armor tanks, with bombs, and expect us to confront you with stones. It doesn't happen. There is absolutely nothing like that. That is what happened in Aba, in Umuahia. That is what happened in Umuahia in Operation Python Dance 2017. They were confronting us with armor tanks in Umuahia, especially in Afaruku Ibeku, while our people were busy confronting them with stones. They ended up massacring no less than 1,000 Igbo youths in Umuahia. A soldier, a military personnel, not just a military personnel, a general who was among the top commanders during Operation Python Dance said it, that Nnamdi Kanu, I have said it before. I don't know if any of you remember that Nnamdi Kanu only counted those that fell in his compound. But to be honest, that over 1,000 youths were murdered during Operation Python Dance, especially in Abia State. A military commander said it, who was one of the commanders of Operation Python Dance. He said it. So now, if our boys, our youths, were defending themselves with stones, because we saw the video where they were throwing stones on those armor tanks. We saw the video. The video is still in the internet today. We saw the videos where our youths, Igbo youths, were throwing stones on those armor tanks. So you cannot in any way defend yourself with stones when a terrorist organization confronting you with armor tanks. You don't. So you defend yourself with the same thing that they are using to confront you. That is what we are doing. Now, let's listen to our leader once again, and then I will show you what Mazi Simon Ekpa said concerning this very new development yesterday. Let's listen to him.
So also our people, is that correct? Yes. And the family is now in mourning. Yes. So all the making of young widows is condemned in its entirety. I don't want it. I don't want anybody to die. Yes. We are fighting for freedom. Then how can we fight for death at the same time? It's not possible. We want people to be free. That's what we're fighting for. Nothing more. We've suffered a lot in Africa. I don't know if you know that. Africans have suffered.
He said we have suffered a lot. We have suffered enough in Africa, which is the truth. Now, there is something he said about Igbos. Listen.
And we maintain that up until this very day. And everything, of course. And some of these soldiers, we are told, are also our people.
Did you hear that? Let's play it again.
Everything, of course. And some of these soldiers, we are told, are also our people. Is that correct? Yes. And the family is now in mourning. Yes.
Did you hear that? He said, and some of these soldiers, I was told, are our people. Did you hear that? I want you to write it down because I'm going to talk about that in a jiffy. Nnamdi Kanu said, and I was told that some of these soldiers are our people, meaning that they are Igbos. They were Igbos. Now, like as I said, I don't want to go deeper. I don't want to go deeper because people are saying Nnamdi Kanu should be careful with the lawyers. No, you don't understand. The problem here is not actually the lawyers. Of course, the lawyers are the ones reminding him or instigating what Nnamdi Kanu said. That there's no problem. There's no doubt about that. We all can see it. But if you see it the same from the angle where I'm seeing it, you know very well that the lawyers, I don't want to actually me Bafra, actually me mepe a lot of things because what the lawyers are doing is for the benefit and the betterment of Nnamdi Kanu for his unconditional release. That's listen, if something changes tomorrow, you know me, if anything changes tomorrow, I will still come here to tell you. If any lawyer goes against the principles of freedom fighting or, trying to use their own position to oppress the fighters, I won't spare anybody. I will never spare anybody. You know me. If somebody like me could fight Ifajune Jofo, then I can fight anybody. I am the one who gave Ifeanyi Ejiofor the title of the lawyer with international reputation. A man with international repute. I am the one that gave it to him. No other person called him that name until I did. So if I fought him, then I can fight anybody. So if tomorrow something changes, then I will still come here to tell you, no, we can't take this anymore. But at this moment, what they asked Nnamdi Kanu to say, I can authoritatively tell you, it is for the betterment of Nnamdi Kanu and for his unconditional release. You don't expect Nnamdi Kanu to come here and start telling you, we are going to send them to judgment. We are going to, no. I said I don't want to analyze deeper. Let me just leave it like that. Let me just leave it like that. Let me just leave it that way. So now let's pick something from Nnamdi Kanu before showing you the reaction of the Prime Minister.
And everything, of course. And some of these soldiers, we are told, are also our people. Is that correct? Yes.
Very fantastic. Nnamdi Kanu said, and some of these soldiers, I was told, are our people. Now, I want you to watch this. Just watch this. According to the Prime Minister yesterday, he made a tweet, which I took the screenshot myself because it's in fact, this very tweet from PM says it all. This very tweet has completely, explained everything and, calmed the nerves. That man, you see, that very man, no joke with Mazi Simon Ekpa. No try him. No even try him. The man is not just wise, but he is spiritually filled. One of these days, moving forward, I'm going to rebroadcast. I'm going to replay the interview I had with the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, in the year 2021. One of these days, moving forward, I will rebroadcast it because is that very interview is no longer on our main platform, which is Biafra Unite with capital letters. It's no longer there. And if I don't rebroadcast that very, interview, I don't know, in future, that very interview may disappear from the internet and I will lose it. And I cannot afford to lose it. The reason why it's no longer on our main platform is because we flushed every single thing on that very platform a couple of years ago or months ago in order to be able to recover it. You all know what happened to it. So one of these days, because I have that very broadcast, I'm going to rebroadcast it moving forward one of these days. Now, you see what the Prime Minister tweeted here. This very tweet is 1 in a million. According to what our leader said, Nnamdi Kanu, he said that these very soldiers, I was told, are our people. Now, he says some of these soldiers, I was told, are our people. Now, the Prime Minister said, the Biafra Liberation Army are not fighting against any tribe in Nigeria. This is a dagger. This is a dagger. I will tell you the reason for this. Just pay attention. Now, he said, but against Nigeria terrorist state and their armed carrying terrorists. If you are one of them who buy Biafrans in Biafra land, you will be neutralized, irrespective of your tribe, whether Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, or from Niger Republic. Once you are in Biafra land to buy our people, you will be neutralized by the Biafra Defense Forces or Biafra resistance fighters. Like as I said before, this very response is a dagger. It's a dagger that has finished everything. That man is not just wise, but he is spiritually inclined. He understands everything, irrespective of where he's coming from. And this response is not to Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to pay attention. This is very, very important to clarify. This response is not to Nnamdi Kanu. No. This response is not to the lawyers that instigated the comment. No. Pay attention. Very important. This response is not even a response. It is a clarification to what Nnamdi Kanu said. Not clarification, to not clarifying or not address or addressing Nnamdi Kanu or addressing the comment of Nnamdi Kanu. No. No way. This clarification is to those who misunderstood the words of Nnamdi Kanu. I want you to follow. If I never hear before more, and only those who are spiritually inclined will understand the things of the Spirit. If I never before more, the clarification is strictly for those who do not understand the words, not the English, not the grammar of Nnamdi Kanu, no, but the words, the meaning of what Nnamdi Kanu was saying in the video that I've already played. Because Nnamdi Kanu said, these soldiers, I was told, some of these soldiers, I was told that they are our people. Nnamdi Kanu is telling you that who do not understand what happened here in the courtroom, that the Biafra Liberation Army are not fighting against any tribe. And remember, some of you listening to me right now must have watched the pre-recorded broadcast that I released a couple of days ago, where Zoo Janjaweed Army was rolling armor tanks and all sorts of military hardwares in order to go and confront the Biafra Liberation Army in Aba. And you saw some of them speaking Igbo, praying for others to go and return in peace. I also, I also played a video during my live broadcast a couple of days ago or weeks. I showed you a military guy, young boy, saying on a video that and he was saying that they have gone and come back successfully. He said they leveled the village. That boy said, do I even have to bring? I think I have to bring that video because he spoke Igbo. That young man spoke Igbo. Let me look for that video and bring it to the screen. That very young man spoke Igbo. He spoke Igbo language. He said that and then he said that thank God they have gone and come back successfully. He said they leveled the village. They leveled the village. What do you make of that? And he's an Igbo man, and he's talking about the incident that took place in Uzuwani in Enugu State, where the Nigeria military invaded the village, burned down the entire community in Uzuwani. In Uzuwani, Enugu State. That very calamity was circulated all over the social media platforms, and I'm very, very sure all Biafrans got that very video. How the Zoo Janjaweed invaded a community in Uzuwani and razed down the entire community. More than 100 homes and buildings were set ablaze in Uzuwani. And then it didn't even take up to 12 hours. The video of Zoo soldiers of Igbo extraction bragging and thanking God for a job well done, how they successfully leveled the entire community. And he also acknowledged that Ife Biafra Liberation Army na Kunekwe to Ekeria. I'm looking for that very video, and I believe by the special grace of God, I'm going to see it. I believe I'm going to see it. So now, tomorrow, when you come tomorrow, you tell us, they are Igbos. What about those in military uniform that the Fulanis are commanding to go and level our communities and slaughter innocent Biafrans? In the video, I have seen the video and I'm going to play it. So, my question is, how about those Igbo soldiers? How about those Igbo soldiers? And let me tell you something. Let me clarify this. In the military, as it stands in the military, you do not have right to say no once you are being commanded. This is something people do not know. You to say no in the military is your resignation. You can never say no in the military. That is why they say obey before command. Obey before complaint, sorry. You can never, it is in their law, unless you be court-martialed. And you know what that means. You can never say no. Once your superior has commanded you, there is nothing like no, no suggestion. You have no right to suggest. Those of you who know military can bear me witness in the comment section. If you know anything about military, you can bear me witness in the comment section. There is nothing like suggest. You have nothing to suggest. Obey the last order. Your refusal to any command is your resignation. You can't even say, I don't want to go, I don't want to obey. No, just resign. That is your only option. But in as much as you are not ready to resign as a military officer, you are obliged to obey the order and command of your superior. That is the military for you. Especially in this, I don't know about other countries. I don't know. But the zoo military, that is just it. That is how it is. Now, let's watch this before we continue. Did you hear that? Nwanne kene olisa na anyị ejegukwan bata. That means we are thanking God. We thank God that we have gone and come back successfully. We have gone and come back. Anyị ejegukwan bata. Let me play it again. Are you paying attention? For those of you who do not understand the Igbo, we thank God that we have gone and come back successfully. Where did they go? Ehamufu. They went to level the entire community and set ablaze no less than 100 buildings in Ehamufu and, render innocent Biafrans homeless. And he's an Igbo man. He's an Igbo man. And tomorrow, if Biafra Liberation Army send him to judgment, he will come and cry, oh, he's an Igbo man. Oh, no. Are you paying attention? Going and coming back is the main priority. Is the main target, the main priority, to go and come back. Now listen. These people are not good in terms of shooting. They shoot like mad. He's talking about the Biafra Liberation Army. If they catch you on the mountain or on top of the hill, you are in trouble. Did you hear that? Manaije kwali obodo. Aije kwali obodo. Are you hearing it? Manaije kwali obodo. These are the boys. Somebody said that you are wrong. Obey, you are wrong. You can say no. Obey before complain is Nigeria Zoo Army mantra. So what are you then telling me? How can you say that you are wrong? If obey before complain is the Zoo Army mantra, so what makes me wrong? What makes me wrong? I can share the link. Let me even share the link. The matter. You just complicate yourself. You say that obey before complain is the Zoo Army mantra. At the same time, you're telling me that I'm wrong. And I have told you that I don't know about any other country, but as long as the zoo is concerned, obey before complain is the way in the zoo military. I told you. You think you think you are wise. I'm not wise, right? I can't say something I don't know. I said I don't know about other countries, but as far as the zoo is concerned, obey before complain. Obey the last order. That is the zoo for you. The link is in the comment section, only for the guy who made this comment. For now, I'm going to share the link again for every other Biafran to join me in the studio to make their comment. If you think you know what you're saying, join me. Erasmus is in the studio, but I don't think you are the one who made this comment, because the name of the person that made the comment is Emmanuel Ochieke. But Erasmus, you can still hold on for your contribution. By the time I will start welcoming Biafrans, you will be the first person to comment. Now, according to what I was saying, this young man here is a typical Igbo man. A typical Igbo man. But he is among those that was commanded probably out of his wish, out of his, thought or whatsoever. Maybe he is not thinking of such. Maybe he never in any way, believe that such a thing can happen, that he will be among the people who will go and attack his fellow Igbo men, his fellow Igbo people, and destroy their homes. Maybe he never thought of such. But because he is among those that has been commanded to go to a Hamufu and destroy the community, he found himself in that position. But what do you do? For us not to have the casualty from Biafra, origin, you say, I know they do it again. I know they do it again. A command has been issued and advice has been given. If you are a Biafran in the Zoo Janjaweed military, resign. Resign. The earlier you understand this, the better for you. Resign, because your boss, your Oga Pata, your Oga at the top, Musa, has declared asymmetric warfare and jungle warfare against the Biafran people. So if you are among those that will be commanded to come and massacre innocent Biafrans, and we don't care. According to the comment of the Prime Minister here, we don't care your tribe. We don't want to know where you come from. It is not our business, because we understand properly that once you are among the groups being commanded to go and level the village, you will respectfully carry out the order. That is how it is. You will respectfully carry out the order. That is the reason why we don't fight against any tribe. We do not fight against any, geopolitical zone or a group of people. We fight against the terrorists that have carried out that have carried arms to come and displace our people in their various communities and render them homeless, slaughter many of them. Those are the people that we are against. We fight against them. So if you think that we are not selective, after all, during the genocidal war in 1967 to 1970, there were some Igbo soldiers who fought against Biafra on the side of Nigeria. Yes, there were. I know this story. The Prime Minister said the Biafra Liberation Army are not fighting against any tribe in Nigeria, but against Nigeria terrorist state and their arm-carrying terrorists. So if you are among those who come to our land carrying AK-47, I want you to understand that you have been counted as part and parcel of the terrorists. You must know this. Always let me know when my voice is no longer coming out, please. Very, very important. Very, very important. So I don't just talk without communicating. Now, let me Having shown you this is very, very important to clarify. Let me show you the second video before I could be able to open the line for our people to come in and make their all important, contribution to this very live presentation. I want you to pay attention to this.
It did is the right thing, and that's what Damagu of the acting week
Southeast. Latest was the Aba killings. I want to draw a parallels in the Southeast. Latest was the Nnamdi Kanu with their. All right, just before you go, Ms. Hanoski, let's go back to the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. With there have been several incidents of violence in the Southeast. Latest was the Aba killings. I want to draw a parallel between, when I say him and Simon Ekpa. Some people have been calling for the same treatment that was meted out to Nnamdi Kanu to be meted out to Simon Ekpa, since he's the one who has actually been instigating violence in the Southeast. What would you say?
You see this idiotic girl, this very stupid girl, a new recruit. This very stupid girl, I don't know her name. Host, okay. I can see here, host, Chioma Innocent. They said her name is Chioma Innocent. And the name of this man here is Peter Nosike. There is an order given yesterday by the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, that any individual, anybody that comes to radio or television whatsoever to say that they are, to speak bad against not only the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, but against Biafra. Because once you talk bad against the Prime Minister, you have spoken bad against Biafra. And of course, it is a treason. By the time we get freedom and we go into democracy, you can talk bad against anybody. You are an opposition, no problem. But right now, we are in freedom fighting, and a lot of people are paying the price with their own blood, with their flesh and blood. They are paying the price for us to be free, and you come here to talk against the freedom we are fighting for. It is a treason. In our own eyes, it is a treason. Whether you like it or not. Don't tell me, hey, this is democracy. We are not yet operating in a democracy. The government we have right now is not all about democracy. It's about freedom fighting. By the time we get freedom, then we switch into full-time democracy. 100%. 100%. You can criticize. If I'm in power, criticize me whichever way you like, no problem. Take me to court, no problem. It is democracy. Or you can say whatever you like. Rather, instead of me to come at you, to come against you, rather I will take your criticism and go and work on myself. I will see what I'm not doing right, and I will start doing it right. But right now, we are fighting for freedom, dying on top of it. Please allow us to do what we are doing until freedom is achieved. Anything you say right now or do right now will be used against you in no distant time. I'm telling you, don't tell me it's democracy. Right now, we haven't even seen the democracy until freedom is achieved. So this idiot, this new recruit, this very newly recruited Anuofia, I don't know where she comes from, is part of the problem. This one called Anosike, Peter Anosike, is part of the problem. The Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, gave an instruction order yesterday to arrest anybody who comes to the TV or radio to speak ill against Biafra restoration, and so that they can be able to pay for it. And this man, we have known him. His name is Peter Anosike. He is among the target. I understand that this so-called radio station is in Lagos State. So probably this man is in Lagos. But remember, he is an Igbo man and his home is in Biafra. If you don't pay for it today, you will definitely pay for it tomorrow. For sure. No doubt about it. Now let's listen to them. Umuokoko.
On Ekpa, since he's the one who has actually been instigating violence in the southeast.
So what do you call violence? Are you a from 2019? Python Dance took place in 2017. 2018 there was Stay Massacre. 2019 there was Stay Massacre. Even 2020 there was massacre. Until the formation of Eastern Security Network in 2021. In 2020, December. I think that was on December 12, 2020. Somebody correct me. December 12th or 14th. December 12th, if I'm not wrong. December 12th, 2020. When Eastern Security Network was formed. Was inaugurated. That was when this whole extrajudicial massacre of our people stopped. At least the open massacre, not they do it, but secretly, and mostly they do disappearance of our people, but not this one. They will just come and they will just start shooting sporadically and slaughter innocent Biafrans from 2020. Apart from those that were deceived in Aba by the criminals in the DOS, it hasn't been like that since then, especially since 2021, when we took over the Eastern Security Network. Back then, after the kidnap and rendition of Nnamdi Kanu, and from then we formed the Biafra Liberation Army after the restoration of the Biafra Republic government in exile. There has never been open massacre of our people again. So this idiotic girl, I don't know if she was born after 2020. This idiot, maybe she was born after 2020. Because if she was born from 2019 moving forward, if she was born from 2019 going down, not moving forward, going down, I don't know how she will say that somebody is instigating violence in Southeast. Are you normal? By the way, violence, somebody should help me. Violence is violence in two different ways or forms. Maybe when military ransack village and slaughter innocent people, maybe it is not called violence. Maybe it is law and order. I think that is what they think. That is what these people believe. When military ransack a community and slaughter innocent people, it is not a violence. It is law and order. Emmanuel Ochieke, you are here. Thank God you are here, but you have joined without your microphone. You must allow your microphone. You must allow your microphone so that you can be able to have access to the studio and speak. So your microphone is not connected. Click allow. When you are joining, there is a notification that will pop up. Allow microphone. You need to click yes, allow. You need to click allow so that you can be able to, make your comments. So you have to go out and come back again for you to be able to, to join and make your comment. Now, these idiots, it's like they believe that when the Janjaweed, when the military carries out extrajudicial massacre, extrajudicial killing of innocent people, it is not violence. It is law and order. That is to show you how an average Nigerian thinks. I want you to pay attention. Is to show you how an average Nigerian reasons. They reason from their anus. They don't think with their brain. They think from the anus. So the army, because you have been given AK-47 and khaki uniform, you are free to go about massacring people, doing everything, whatever you like. It is official and lawful. Now, when somebody defends his or herself, it becomes violence. That is to show you how an average zoological republic of animal kingdom in animal kingdom reasons. A zoo monkey, that is to show you how they reason. Instigating violence in the Southeast. Let's listen to her and this Okoko man.
To Simon Ekpa, since he's the one who has actually been instigating violence in the Southeast? What would you say?
What? Is he instigating violence because he asks his own people to defend themselves? I want to understand it properly. But let's hear this man.
Simon Ekpa is not in the country. Simon Ekpa is in Finland. He married a Finnish citizen, a Finnish woman. Understand? So, and as such, they are giving him protection. So, what the Nigerian government should have done is to extradite him to Nigeria, then let him face the consequences of what he is doing. Because
ndị Igbo sị nwata kwuo okwu amalụ ka afa ya ara. Nwata kwuo okwu amalụ ka afa ya ara. Can you imagine an old man like this, an aged man like this, talking buncon? He speaks without, reasoning, without thinking of the words coming out from his mouth. Can you imagine that?
Because Simon Ekpa, what he's doing, Nnamdi Kanu said it on Wednesday, that IPob is a non-violent organization.
We can't even make a proper pronunciation. Violence. What do you mean by violence? But let me just take it like that. Of course, Nnamdi Kanu said that IPob is not a violent organization, which we all know. We all believe that. Emmanuel Ochieke, I don't want you to use your microphone as an excuse because I want you to come here and speak. You must allow your microphone to be connected so that you can be able to have access to talk. Your microphone, your device is not connected with your microphone, therefore you cannot speak. Now, what do you mean? Oga, can you talk again?
Wednesday, that IPob is a non-violent organization, which I agree 100%. IPob is an offshoot of Mossab,
okay,
which was founded by Chief Ralph Owazrike, okay. And the Mossab took everything they did from Mahatma Gandhi of India, the first president of India, who used a non-violent organization to get to power in India. Because Ralph Owazrike read law in New Delhi University.
Now, this idiot, this very stupid man, does not understand the difference between what is going on in Africa and what happened in India. Listen, India was in the olden days. I don't know if it's 18th century or 17th century. I don't remember which century that Indians fought for their own freedom. Under Britain. Under British rule, that had already, as at that time, understood what democracy is all about, even though it was still under, some kind of monarchical rule in Britain. Yet, they have understood that people still have their right to live and defend themselves. So they understood what protest is all about. Britain understood, even as at that time, that protest is very, very huge and strong. Now, as if that is not enough, under the zoo, When the likes of, Awolo with them, Michael Okpara them, what's the name? Aziki with them, they were still agitating and protesting because British had, as at that time, understood what protest does, the power of protest. They know it. They understand it. They allowed them to go. But even in South Africa, they held them. They said, no, you cannot go, until they resorted into, guerrilla warfare that gave birth to what they called, what's the name of that, their organization under ANC? What's the name of that organization? Umkhonto Wesizwe. I have, I have talked about this a couple of years ago. I analyzed it a couple of years ago. I'm sure some of you who were here that very moment I was talking about this are still here till today. I'm very sure about that. It gave birth to Umkhonto Wesizwe because British rule, appetite or whatever they call them, was not able to leave South Africa because of the diamond and gold that was found in South Africa. So it was difficult for them to leave. Very, very difficult. So it took many years. And that resulted into the guerrilla warfare that led to armed struggle in South Africa. But they prevailed, and today South Africa is free. So that is exactly what is going on. But in Africa, under a black man regime, they do not understand the power of protest. What they do is to send the military to go there and slaughter people. So this man talking with this idiot girl, where were you? Where were you during NSAS protests in 2020? Where innocent people were massacred at Lekki Toll Gate on the 20th of October 2020. Where were you? They were not carrying arms. Nobody was instigating violence as you spoke, as you said. Nobody was instigating violence because there was no violent protest. Peaceful protest can never be a violent thing. So where were you? You never spoke. Now, this man went ahead to say Rafu Wazirike studied in India and he wanted a peaceful in Africa. Are you kidding me? Under a black man regime, a black man government, you will obtain power with peaceful, means. Now, where were this man? I'm asking you, this man, and Peter Anosike, whatever they call it. Where were you and what did you do? What did you say? Under the same Wazirike you are praising now, you are praising him today, he is now a giant. Where were you? What did you do? And what did you say when Rafu Wazirike's members were murdered and thrown into a zoo river in Anambra State under Peter Obi? What did you do? As if that was not enough. He said IPob was a non-violent organization. Good. Very, very understandable. Now, what were you doing? What did you do? What did you say? And what was your reaction when innocent IPob, the same IPob you are praising today, when the innocent IPOB members were massacred in all parts of Biafra land, including Aba High School massacre? What were your reactions? What about our people that were massacred in that same Nnamdi Kanu's compound that you are praising today, that has become very, very, innocent and very, very innocent and sent? The same Nnamdi Kanu that has become sent. What did you do? I'm very sure this evil man who is here was fighting against Nnamdi Kanu when he was broadcasting on Radio Biafra. I'm very, very sure he was against Nnamdi Kanu when the Eastern Security Network was formed. I'm very, very sure. But because he's a hypocrite, today he is now a lover of Nnamdi Kanu because their thought, their desire, their decision, their plan failed when Mazi Simon Ekpa took over the struggle after their kidnap and rendition of Nnamdi Kanu to the zoo. So they are now, they failed woefully. We made the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu useless, and we made his detention in the DSS dungeon more expensive than his release. Today, Nnamdi Kanu has become a saint. Let's listen to him.
So IPob is a non-violent organization, but some criminals are hiding under IPob just to give it a bad name. And
who are these criminals? Are you not aware? Are you not aware that we have a government in exile? There is nothing like IPob as far as government in exile is concerned. IPob is a general body of all indigenous people of Biafra, including you talking, including the governors, all of them. They are all under IPob. I do not see IPob as an organization. I'm sorry, but that is the truth. I do not see IPob as an organization. I see IPob as a blood that runs through the veins of all Biafrans. That is how I see it. Please, I have said this before. If you are here in the studio, do not worry me. Don't stop sending me private chat. I'm going to bring you in once the time comes. Just relax. As long as you are listening to the conversation, just relax. I will bring you in once the time comes. The link that I sent initially was for that very person that said that there was nothing like obey before control, obey before complain in the zoo, military. That's why I sent the link. Please, if you are here in the studio, relax your mind and do not send me private message. I'm going to bring you in once the time comes. But definitely, you are going to be one of the first people that I will bring in to speak once I open the line. Please, just relax. Now, this very man, let's listen to him.
Even Nigerian security agencies know all this. They will shoot an innocent person and say that they have shot a member of an IPob. Understand me? There was once an IG of a police by name Arase that said that he has disarmed members of IPob. You are disarming people who don't even have a stick. So Nigerian government have been lying against IPob to give Igbos a bad name.
Oh, did you hear that? The zoo government has been lying against IPob to give Igbos a bad name. To give Igbos a bad name. Meaning that not to give IPob a bad name. He didn't say that. He said to give Igbos a bad name. Meaning that he's aware that every Biafran, be it Igbo, be it Calabar or wherever you come from in Biafra land, you are an IPob. It's not an organization, like as I said before. It's not even a movement. It is a blood that runs through the veins of all Biafrans. So when they say people are hiding under IPob committing crime, and they are talking to Simon Ekpa, they are talking to Biafra Liberation Army, that means they are, I cannot say they are not informed. They are informed, but they just decided to be foolish. They just decided to be cowards. They just decided to be foolish. Because Biafra Liberation Army under the Biafra Republic government in exile has no business, has no right to hide under IPob that they govern. People are not understanding the difference. IPob is not an organization, it's a blood that runs through the veins of all Biafrans. So meaning that every Biafran is an IPob member. So when you are a Biafran, you are an IPob, meaning that you are under a government. People are not understanding this whole thing. When you are a Biafran, you are under a government. And that government is the BLGIE. So how can somebody who governs you will be hiding under you at the same time? Because I'm trying to get, the whole, all these nonsensical statements from these fools that call themselves that statement or whatever they call themselves. Every time they come and say, people are hiding under IPob, committing crime. And when you ask them who are these people, they tell you members of the Biafra Liberation Army. Like, seriously? Are you really kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now, let's continue.
So IPob is not a violent organization.
Yeah.
So Simon Ekpa, whatever is his name, is a criminal. So
if ọjọọ ka mmụọ gị amụ, if ọjọọ ka mmụọ gị amụ alụmelụ, if ọjọọ ka mmụọ gị amụ. This man who is today a darling of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a criminal. The same thing he's calling Mazi Simon Ekpa today is the same thing he called Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the past. But because they are, and I'm very certain he's among those that celebrated the illegal kidnap and extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to the zoo. I'm very, very certain, 100%, because like as I said from beginning, by their fruit we shall know them. His words has already proven to me beyond every reasonable doubt that he's among those that celebrated and rejoiced when the announcement was made that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been brought back to the zoo. He rejoiced. But because they failed, their plan failed, their decision failed, everything they did, the whole money they spent, every single move they took to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu failed. And that is the reason why today Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has become innocent and sent. Mazi Simon Ekpa is now a criminal. So why can't you release that scent? Why did you go and kidnap the scent in the first place? Why can't you, okay, since you have made a mistake by kidnapping the scent, why can't you now release the scent and focus on the criminal? Why are you still keeping the scent in your custody and still looking for the criminal? Are you normal? Are you really normal? Are you normal? Why keeping the scent? And you are still looking for the criminal. I think it's the time. I will still, because he still has more things to say, but let me first of all welcome some of these, our brothers who have been waiting for ages for them to make their contribution. So Erasmus, if you can hear me, please grab the microphone and speak to us. You are one of our own.
Thank you very much, Biafra Unite. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I've been listening to you and I've been following the social media after that outing by MNK. And I want the world listening to understand that we Biafrans that have been following MNK and that have been following event of things since his kidnap and following Sam Ekpa as well are not stupid. And I also want to use this opportunity to speak to a lot of Biafrans. one thing I have over the time that I've understood about us Biafrans, I'm sorry to say, we have most of us have short memory, so we tend to forget a lot of things that in the past. Once new event happens, we forget every other thing that happened before. So, because if we can recall at this moment in time, yes, my expectation is for Biafrans to just look at MNK before he's kidnapped. Everything he has said, everything he has done, all the actions he has taken, that will be the guiding principle. And again, I'm happy, I'm glad that the Prime Minister is one of the smartest men I've ever seen. He has preempted all these things that is going to happen since 2021, 2022. That in let me say precisely 2022. And that was why he told them in 2022 that MNK must be released and he will not be in Nigeria to speak to him. He will go to Finland to speak to him. Because we know exactly what is going on. You see all these people pretending now to become MNK supporter. These are the same people that were criticizing MNK. They want MNK's head. Now
exactly.
they have turned around now automatically. They are now supporter of MNK. They are not. What they are just trying to do is to see how they can separate MNK from Sam Ekpa, but they know that forgetting that MNK is one of the smartest men in this world. And I want to use the opportunity to talk to our people because I have seen some people broadcast. I'm using this opportunity to use your platform to speak to them. You people should not be jumping into. I've seen some kind of I don't want to say stupid subtitle. We should not be jumping into a conclusion because somebody MNK spoke. You don't know the context of which he is speaking. You have been following MNK for how many years? You do not understand MNK. Somebody under captivity, do you expect him to come out and speak the way you want him to speak? He needs to be out. So a lot of people, I honestly, I was really disappointed in some titles that I was saying. We should be guided by our actions, should be guided by what we say concerning that this thing. And I want to say this because I think it's necessary to say it. In as much as we do not want to analyze the brokers, what is said in court, which I accept, do not analyze it. But I think a word of caution should be given because I'm seeing a trait. I'm seeing a trait in that legal team. Barrister Maswe Okpara. Barrister Maswe Okpara should be on the watch list. We are watching him. I'm not going to say anything about him right now, but you should know that Biafrans are watching him. I have been observing him. If you don't need to do the brokers, don't do the analysis, but on your own after the brokers, go back and watch that video clip very well. When MNK was talking, almost everything that MNK was talking, this man, there was somebody there who was engineering it, almost putting it in his mouth to say it. At a point, MNK was using her to stop him. You understand? Like, I don't want to say that. You understand? So it's like somebody had a template and he wanted to force MNK to say everything that they already drafted for him to say. I don't want to say more regarding that for now, but I'm saying it so that if he's watching, he should not take Biafrans for granted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother Erasmus, for that wonderful contribution. I appreciate you. Cleo, please grab the mic and talk to us.
Yeah, hello. Am I coming out?
Yes, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, Biafra Unite. And God bless you for all the good work you guys are doing in this race that we are running. Surely we'll hit the end point. My interest is about the soldiers that you were discussing earlier. You see, one truth remains that MNK is in the hands of the enemy. So whatever he says, we try to decode what is behind the words, not what the words exactly does specifically says. But for those Igbo soldiers that come to kill our people, yes, we understand very well that most of them in the zoo, it is obey the last command, and you are bound to obey without putting up a resistance. But there is something that you know is that when you do something that is not from your heart, there's a way you react. There's a there's a countenance that you put up that will make anybody that looks at you know that indeed this person is not happy with this, maybe because of circumstances or situations that are beyond his immediate control or beyond his control. But when you see a soldier like those two guys that were celebrating the destruction of their Umunna, because as far as I'm concerned, any Biafran is an Umunna to the next Biafran.
Mm-hmm.
It must not be only the family. We are all children of one lineage. So you come out and you are happy to go and destroy your fellow Igbo man, and you tell me that you are obeying the last command. Yes, even if you obey the last command, there is a way you behave. You don't celebrate your own downfall. It is the same thing with this useless set of people that come to the media to say all sorts of nonsense. If you are not courageous enough to speak, why not shut your mouth? And if you look at the media, it is the Igbos that are in the forefront of condemnation of those that are fighting day and night to protect them from shame and disgrace. Pụta dike ka egbuo, pụta dike ka egbuo. Ụbọchị ihe dike pụta achọwa dike. Is it not as Sunday? These useless people that can come up and come out to talk all sort of rubbish. There was one that the Prime Minister was analyzing yesterday. You look at them, you see the idiotic nature in them. While I was in the zoo, this was a problem I still had with a lot of people. Stand for the truth, stand for the right thing. Okay, you say that the Prime Minister is a criminal. He's a this thing, is that. Did he start the violence? Did he order the army that have been coming over the years? We have a history of killing in the southeast, in the Biafra land. There's been a long-standing history of regular killing. We know what has been happening in Imo State over the years. We're not even talking of since Hope Uzodinma came in and made everything worse. We know how it has been over there. Any little thing, they kill. We know how the Fulani herders were invading villages and destroying them. I remember an incident in Imo State, one village, where an old man went to farm and he didn't return. When the people went there, they saw that he had been beheaded. It is not once, it is not, you can count hundreds upon hundreds of such situations. How can a man be in the house and your fellow man come to your house, beat your wife, beat your children, rape your wife right before your eyes? If they know the honor that Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, and those Biafra Liberation Army and the Biafra Defense Forces are bringing to the Igbo race, to the Biafran people, they will not come out to talk rubbish because of the benefit they are looking for from the federal government that they are not even getting. Look at how they look. Look at how they look. How many years do they have left on earth that they cannot advise themselves?
Thank you, my brother.
So
thank you.
Let me leave it at that, my brother. Just keep the good work going. But I know that at the end of the day, result will call itself.
Definitely.
These people that do not want to tell themselves the truth, those days they say that, okay, Anahano. But these days, they by themselves use their hand to put the ewu on the owu so that it will stay there. It's a shame on them. What
Thank
would you
you.
do? Follow your teeth. Right on, my
God
brother.
bless you, my brother. Thank you. All right, we move. Please, once I welcome you, endeavor to utilize only about 2 minutes to make your contribution. Very, very important. And Andy Johnson, please grab the microphone and use your 2 minutes to talk to us. You're welcome.
Okay, are you hearing me?
Loud and clear, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Bafra, for bringing me in. I don't have much to say. I just want to contribute about that lawyer. It's good. Our advice is good, Bafra. You analyze that thing. That lawyer, our chief of staff, caught that video and she posted it. If you go and watch it again and again, you will see that lawyer, I don't know his name, Maswell or something, he has something in cupboard. He has something in cupboard. Because he was forcing a word to our leader. He was the particular person who was talking about people they killed, the soldier, for him to mention the soldier they killed. And so smart. Our leader was so smart. He just looked at him and said that he condemned all anything has to do with killings. But it's good, my brother. We should analyze that video, complain about it, let the people know, even other people, let the people talk about it, so that he will withdraw himself from that line he is going. Let him withdraw himself, because some influences are on him. I believe for him to come to that court and influencing our leader to say something about soldiers that have been killing us, he has something in common. And for this man here talking rubbish, we are listening and we are watching. The most important thing that we get what you are looking for. At the end, they will come and answer the questions for Biafrans when time comes. Not now. Let them talk rubbish, all the things what they want to do. Everybody can talk rubbish. At the end, when we get what we want, people like us will be bringing the issue of them to the government of Biafra. They will deal with them. I don't have much to say, my brother. I just want to say these few words. That's what I want to say. Concerning that lawyer, everybody should say something about lawyer. It's better they will practice when no before I come mad. Lawyer now. Go withdraw from that area naga, because you can watch that video. You can watch here from our chief of staff. Very, very well. You understand that man has something in common. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. God bless you. Ana atopunanu weleli. At the moment, we are focused. We are highly focused. We have fought a big battle, and the time we confronted a giant battle in the person of Karo White, Ifajuna, Ifani Ejiofor, we know what it took us to defeat the enemy. So right now we are focused. There are lots of things at hand that need to be done, and we cannot afford to start unnecessary battle at the moment. But notwithstanding that, if you come to confront us with ulterior motive, we are not going to say, oh, we don't like to fight again because we are fighting other battles and then we allow you. No, we can't. But what I have told you, I know exactly what happened in the court. I know exactly what happened and the reason behind it. I know the reason behind it. But that does not mean that if something goes wrong somewhere or somehow or sometime, that we are going to fold our arms and watch. Let's just keep it like that for now. Prince Onyebuchi, please, the link is already in the comment section. I have pinned it in on top of the comment section. If you are watching from YouTube, I have pinned the link on top of the comment section. You can click that very link and join me live in the studio. Those of you that have questions, bring in your questions and it's going to be addressed. If you have a comment to make, come here and make your comment. Biafrans are listening to you. And remember, based on the title of this very broadcast, I say MNK Simon Ekpa on top of the game as Nigeria found themselves in a tight corner. And going by the thumbnail of this very broadcast, I have said that the zoo now asking for negotiation and of course political solution for the MNK case. I'm going to analyze that moving forward. All right, Prince Onyebuchi, please grab the microphone and talk to us. 2 minutes.
Bafra Unite. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depend your location, my brother. Bafra Unite, you are doing the right thing. You know, I decided to be awake to this point to be able to join your program because always you are doing the needful and you are giving it to them. When you do your analysis, you bring out some very, very vital information and, you know, break down the plans of the zoo. Let me just comment pertaining this man that has a 4-eye that they call into this room of journalists that is talking cack from his mouth. What I want to say concerning that man is that I think PM have said it all. That as many that have used their mouth to say things that has not been existing, maybe things that they don't have evidence against him and they are just putting it to him, that the Biafran soldiers will go and look for them wherever they are. They just need to come out and bring out an evidence of what they're saying. If someone call him an armed robber, you will now say to the person will tell us where as PM be able to steal from him before. So that is a very good warning because we're on top of the game. I saw what happened in court. I saw what MNK said. I saw that the zoo want to put some words into his mouth, which he refused. He stood his ground. He told them, what I'm saying is what I know. You cannot ask me for something and you want me to be the one to come for it. You are the one who is holding me. You are the one who will say what you want us to do. And that said it all. And there's one that you analyze at the last video that I got a point there that even the Zoom media did not know that that clip was in there. When MLK said, for me, I did not say anything. They said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
So it's a very clear point. He said, for me, I didn't say anything. They said it. So meaning that he's not involved. Whatever they are doing, he's just there to look at them. So all I want to tell you is that we're on top of the game. You guys are doing wonderfully well. And then no matter any way they plan to come to the land of our own land of Biafra, the land will swallow them. Definitely, the land will swallow them. They will not go scot-free. As MNK have said it, so shall it be. He said they will come and the land of Biafra will swallow them. As they are coming, the land of Biafra is swallowing them. And Prime Minister is standing strong 1 million ahead of them. That now they are confused. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to say. They don't even know the agreement they are going to make because in all, everything has happened. So all these our senators, most of the governors, all these people that is getting money from the zoo, there's no how they will be able to do the needful, because they are getting money from the corruption of the country. So we are fighting for the just cause. And I'm telling you, keep on doing what we are doing. We are going forward and we are getting to the land of freedom, where everyone will be celebrated, where we can be able to sit down and serve and speak and lift up our hands and say to Chukwu Okike Abiama that he has done greatly well for bringing us out from the land of Egypt. So in that land is a place where we are going to sing the song of the God, because we cannot sing the song of God in a strange land now, because the land of Zoo is a strange land. We can only sing the Lord's song in the land of Bafra, where we lift up our hands and worship the living God, the one that have brought us out from slavery and have given us victory, to be able to know the just, to live, the power to be free, and other Africa around us will be free as well. So my brother, I thank you guys. You guys are doing greatly well.
Thank you.
All of you are doing very well, and I'm following you all ahead. And I know that all these stupid, what we call them, all this Facebook, whatever they are trying to do to you, they close your page. No matter what they do, we are still on top of the game. So keep it up, my brother. We are getting there, airborne.
Ebon, thank you, my brother. God bless you, Prince Onyebuchi, for that wonderful and classic contribution that you have made. We appreciate you. Rising Sun, please grab the microphone and talk to us. 2 minutes. Rising Sun, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I say good evening, my brother Kuku.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Okay. May God bless you. Wonderful work. Keep it on, sir. Concerning about the zoo, I didn't have much to say. Only thing is that they are just wasting their time. Your analysis, your expose, everything is very wonderful. Today I was watching TVC news. One of the presenter was interviewing somebody. The analysis of that man was so much fair. The man was kind in his analysis. Like the presenter was trying to put words in his mouth, telling him that Nnamdi Kanu job bell, this and that, this and that. The man was fair enough to let that man to know that there is a reason. And this presenter, that so-called the presenter, to tell you how wicked Nigeria is, he did not mention exactly what happened to our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, before he left this country. He did not mention, he did not tell Nigeria and say, this is exactly what happened or what led his escape. To tell you that Nigeria was built in illegality and also in injustice.
The presenter, is it a man or a woman?
He's a man. He's a man.
Sure
I didn't know him.
Are you sure it's TVC or is Arise News? Is it not Arise News?
It's supposed to be TVC or Arise News, something like that. Between these two television. You understand, sir? So I began to say that this country, there is nothing that can make it better because of what? The foundation of this country was built in injustice and illegality. There is no equity, no fairness. There is no equal rights. So I don't know why some people are still seeing it difficult to say the truth. I don't know why people are still just managing it, managing a damaged country, a damaged, let me say, zoo, a damaged geographical expression.
Is it not this interview you are talking about?
Very nice, sir. Very nice. You are correct, sir. This is the interview. The presenter was provoking me when I was listening to the news. But only thing that this man, his analysis was very, very, very fair. The man was good in his analysis. The man was good in analysis. To tell you that all these journalists, Nigerian journalists, they are just brown envelope journalists. They are the problem of this country. Nigerian journalists are the problem of Nigerian government and Nigeria as a country. They can't call a spade a spade. They can't say the truth because of what? They have been buy over. They have buy them all over, and they are the one causing the inhuman treatment that is going on in this country. The citizens do not have right. Nigeria don't practice freedom of speech. Nigeria don't have right. That is, they don't value the right of their citizens. What they do is rule and divide and control. They rule the people with the barrels of gun. They subject people with fears. They make sure they intimidate people. They make sure they humiliate you. They make sure that you do not have the space to express your opinion because of fear. Because of fear. And,
thank you, my brother.
And people are still calling it a country. And people are still proud of it. And I don't know how the kind of mentality that some people have. I don't know the kind of mentality, especially people that call themselves Nigerians have. But I pray that God will see us through. May God bless you for your good work. May God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you too. All right. Innocent 69, please take the microphone and turn down the volume of your listening device.
Good evening, dear friends.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yes.
Turn down the volume of your listening device so you can listen through the studio.
Okay. Yes. What we are seeing in Nigeria. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, what we are seeing in Nigeria. Everybody knows the type of country we are in. The zoo have distracted everybody. We that are living on it, we can't tell anything good about it. That's why we thank God for our Prime Minister, Mr. Simon Ekpa. If not for him and for our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we don't know what we have been doing by now or what we'll be facing by now. But we thank God that God have used them to liberate us, to liberate Biafrans, and to make Biafrans know that we have hope and we have future. And by the grace of God, we are going to see Biafra very soon. And we're going to live as a liberated people, and not like people that are caged in a country. So we thank God. I always pray for our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, that God will protect him, be with him, guide him in everything he's doing. Because what he's doing the right thing. And God is showing him what to do. And exactly what God is showing is what he's doing. And we know that very soon, we, the Biafran, we have the time to rejoice, to praise God for what he has done for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless you for that very, very beautiful submission. We appreciate you too. All right. Awin Boone, please grab the microphone and talk to us. 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Biafran Unite, and good evening to you from my father's ancestral land, Bolgatanga, Upper East region, Ghana.
Wow.
The Biafran blood, the Igbo-speaking Biafran blood runs in me. And this is my second time coming to your program.
You're welcome.
Other platforms that I have been, they call me Wawa, Okene, or Diakwara Biafra.
and I have a stake in what happens in my mother's ancestral land.
Definitely.
Nigeria is in a fix. You know, they thought that by kidnapping Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, renditioning him to Nigeria would be the end of Biafra. They never knew that that was going to be the beginning, the massive, fight for the restoration of my mother's ancestral land. And that is where we are today. They don't want to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu simply because they are ashamed. They are afraid to be ashamed. They are there is, the little Igbo I speak. The Igbo people say that agwo is a snake. Agwo chorozo toshi ala asol bolo wianok. Nigeria is looking for a way to escape the shame that they have brought upon themselves. And that is the reason why they still keep Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has never committed any crime.
Never.
I was a member of the Nigerian army from 1991 to 2004 when I left them.
Okay.
These people they have the penchant of intimidation and killing of innocent people. History had it. It's not too far. In Zakibiam, I was there when that one happened. Innocent people were pied, senselessly pied. In Udi, in River State, Port Harcourt, innocent people were pied. They bent in going for the low-hanging fruits. Instead of them to look for the perpetrators of whatever, they go and begin to extract innocent people from their house, breaking houses and extracting people. That is the word we use in the military. Extraction of people, innocent people, unarmed people. That is what they are doing in Biafra land. And we must not allow that to happen. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu did not opt for negotiation with how can Mazen Nnamdi Kanu negotiate with a terrorist government? How?
That is because of what you said, that's why I brought the news to the screen, because I'm going to read it. I had already read it during my pre-recorded broadcast, but I'm going to read it again live here. So go ahead.
Thank you, sir. How can a freedom fighter, a man who is standing against the injustices, the killings, the intimidation of innocent people, whose crime is that they want to leave a corrupt and criminal system, be a terrorist? How can that happen? How can he negotiate with such a country? Look, Biafran people, all of you are my Nemoches and my Namoches. We must stand tall because the job we are doing is ordained by God. And we must not allow anybody to dissuade us from doing what is right. I will be one of the most proud person on earth to see in the life of me a free Biafra, the restoration of that rising sun nation called Biafra. Biafra is older than Nigeria. Biafra is older than any other countries that are supporting them. And that is what God has called us to re-establish. Do not be bothered. Don't be cowed. I am here on behalf of my family to support Biafrans in order to make sure that the restoration of my mother's ancestral home is a reality. May Chukwu bless all of you for whatever you are doing. Thank you so much, Biafran Unite, for having me. Anytime you set out, you pin your the stream yard, I will always come to support you, and that is what I've been doing in all platforms, even pro terrorist Nigerian platforms. I go there to pass the gospel of the restoration of Biafra. May
Thank you.
Chukwu continue to bless all of you. Thank you so much for having
Bless
me.
you too. Bless you too, my brother. Wow, 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 wow. I'm speechless. I am speechless. I am speechless. All right, before giving microphone to Ogochukwu, the link is still there in the comment section in case if you still have something to add or you have a question to ask. But please, once you are joining me, make sure that your microphone is turned on. This Emmanuel Ochieke, you are still having the same problem. And of course, I have told you what to do, but I can't help you anymore. According to Daily Post, you see yesterday everybody was, gallivanting all over the places, shouting, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given up the Biafra struggle, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has condemned the agitation, oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now wants to negotiate with the terrorist government of the zoo. Here is the dagger. Here is the dagger. They have finally shot themselves in the foot and they can no longer hold it, rather than to come back to do the updated, what do you call it? Updated publication. They have come here to do the updated publication. Ogochukwu, just hold on a little bit. I'm going to give you the microphone. Now, according to the headline, they said, terrorism trial, court orders Nigeria government Nnamdi Kanu to explore political solution. They said court orders Nigeria government and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to explore political solution. But they were shouting, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one now seeking. They said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu seeks political solution. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu seeks out of court settlement with the federal government. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu seeks a political solution with the federal government. How comes Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one seeking political solution when everybody has been begging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to accept political solution, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said no, it is outright freedom from our people. So because karma has finally caught up with them, they have come back to do rejoinder. They have come out to do rejoinder of their idiocy early yesterday, when they all came out with that propaganda that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is seeking for political solution. So the court is the one that ordered the zoo government to go and negotiate with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu seeks negotiation with the federal government of the zoo. But it's a lie. It is a lie. Karma has caught up with them. That's why they came out with rejoinder and say things the way they are. Now, if you read further, you see a lot of things happened. And remember that this court orders Nigeria government, the same court, serves the zoo interest, right? That means it is a plan. It is a plan that they planned. Thank you, Blessing Emelogo, for the super chat. It's quite okay. I don't want to say something. Thank you for this, your super chat. I appreciate it. Now, you see, this court serves the interests of the zoo, meaning that for court to order the zoo government to go and settle with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu politically or with political or through political solution, meaning that court, the zoo federal government must have prepared it. The government must have prepared it already with the court to toe this land. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made it very, very clear on that very video that, look, whenever you're talking about negotiation or discussion or whatsoever, it is not from me. My lawyer was quoting what the law says, not from me. Wow. All right. Ogochukwu Okafor, please grab the microphone and talk to us.
Ndewo Maazị Ọdịnanwa. Chukwu
You're
gọziere m gị,
welcome. Oh, you
Chukwu
are the only
gọzie.
woman that has spoken today. God bless you. You're welcome.
Yes, so asị m Chukwu gọzie gị o, Chukwu gọzie. Amara m otu m si ekene Chukwu maka gị eziokwu. Ma ọ kacha gị
Ise,
nwa. Hey,
ise,
asị Chukwu gọziere m gị. Maka na
ise,
eziokwu bụ ihe ga-edu anyị niile, and ịbụ eziokwu nke ga-akụghị ya mmiri. Ga-akụ ya mmiri.
ise.
Nne m
Thank you.
na-ekwu bụ na ị ma na tupu ọtụ a bido nya, ị ma na these people bụ akpọrọ ndị POS lele anyị na ha ebidogo wee na-asụba na ha anabatago political solution. Ị nwere idea na ihe ha nọ na redio Biafra, redio ha nyere ndị Fulani were na-ekwu chechi na
Okay.
asanwo and them ozugbo ha ncha na-amagharị ebe niile.
I know because I don't listen to them I don't listen to them anymore.
Oh my goodness, Remy Juice, our brother Remy Juice, ịma na o ji ha n'ọrụ, o ji ha n'akpịrị too much. Ya ka ha ji achọgharị ya ebe niile ka ejide ka o mechie ọnụ. O ji ha eji. Na ndị anụnwa bụ ndị na-work with these people o. Imechie na ndị apụta just ndị gọọmenti para na-ekwu ihe. Ọ na-amachi na Asanwo-Olu na ndị otu agwago ha na IPob anabatago political solution. No, onye pụta ha pụta na-ekwu ya. Ndị a na-egbu anyị. These people, they are the ones that working with governors and the politicians of our land. Echi ha tọ nọ sị, Simon Ekpa na Tinubu ego na-eme nka na-eme nkọ. Ndị ụchụ na ọ bụrụ agwachakwa ọda dịara mma. Ndị amara m ihe a ga-eme ha eme. Ha ebugo nzọkwu ihe a kedu afọ ere wee jide ha na akpịrị wee gbaa ha ọtọ kọkada ha gwakọta ha mee ihe niile expose. Ọ ha nwa. Ifuge. So, but since the last court of our leader, can Naju Chukwu si Abiko Chukwu, what kind of God are you? Okay, this Nnamdi Kanu, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu get deny glasses so ji agụ ihe ọdịnala ketere. Get go to gubazie the constitution kogni n'ime court without glasses. Look at that. Chineke nna. Nwe na-asị ọkwa ọgụ eji ọfọ bụ Chukwu na-anụkwa n'ọgụ anọgwụkwa mmadụ. Chukwu na-anụ ọgụ eji ọfọ. And anyị jiri ndị ọfọ. Chukwu gara anụrụ anyị ọgụ. Ọ ga-anọgide ruo n'isi. That's our COS delete tweet na Al-Qaeda is coming have entered Nigeria. You see. So all these things are planned for us. Mana, as I told them, ọgụ eji ọfọ bụ Chukwu na-anụ ọgụ a. Ha bịa tisha na ha, they can never win us. Although possible. Na anyị nọba anyị, ha chọrọ anyị na-abịa. Otu a ka ha ga-esi na-aga. Chukwu daalụ maka Maazị Simon Ekpa. Ọdịnanwa ndewo. Chukwu gọziere gị.
Ndewo. God bless you too. That's very, very, very fantastic. Very, very fantastic. All right. Let me finish the video and then we will, of course, call it a day. Let me finish the video which I was playing before.
The Nigeria government, if they want peace, should do everything possible to extradite him back to this country. Let him
man
answer for for the death that he is causing in the southeast.
Imagine.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nnamdi, for joining.
Mumu man. This is to show you how an average zoological republic of an average monkey in the zoo reasons. Okay, this Emmanuel Ocheke, finally you made it. You made it finally. All right, grab the microphone immediately and explain to us, please, what you were talking about.
Okay, then, but before I start up, just want to make sure you don't insult me now. Because if you insult me, I'm going to hang up. Because I already saw you started insulting me because I just made a little comment that you were wrong.
Hold on. Please. There are some words I wouldn't like you to use here because first
you're
of
already
all,
cutting me off, but you were insulting me.
Hold on. I say hold on. Don't drag it with me, okay? Because I hold the mouse.
Okay, then. See, that's my point. You already my friend, get the fuck out, man. Go. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. You already.
Okay, I can't allow a nincompoop to come here and use some derogatory word on Biafra. You can't use that word. The moment you use that word, you are off. it's better you speak like a reasonable individual than to use some idiotic comment. He said that I insulted him. First of all, I don't insult people. For him to say get there, whatever he said, get there, I can't even use that word. So for him to say that has shown that he's not just a stupid person, but he's a coward. That is how it is. Because in the Bosina, Obuna busu nedo onwe ya anya, oke agba ya ọkpụ n'isi. Obuna busu nedo onwe ya anya, oke agake ya ọkpụ. That is how it is. You can't come here and say get what? Are you insane? Do you think this is a hip hop channel? This is not a hip hop channel. This is never a hip hop channel. So you can't just come here and use some kind of words that you have never heard from this platform before. If you get angry, you speak with manners like a reasonable individual. You don't come here and use American hip hop words. This is not a hip hop platform. I can't allow that to happen. That is number one. And that is the reason why I did not remove you. I know you are still in the studio. You are backstage. I didn't remove you because you are shouting. I remove you for the word that you use, for saying get there. I can't use that word, so I can't allow it on this platform. So the next time you are going to a Biafran platform, you know how to talk. You know the words that you use. So you have shown to everybody who has listened to you within these 30 seconds that you are not just a fool, but you are a coward. That is how it is. Now, the first time I did not insult him, I didn't insult you. I don't remember any word of insult that I used on you. When you said that it is a lie, you are the one who even insulted me for saying that I'm lying. You insulted me. I never insulted you. I said that in the zoo, I also made it categorically clear that I don't know about other countries. I said that I don't know about other countries. But in the zoo that I know, as far as the zoo military is concerned, it is obey the last command. Obey the last command. Obey the last command. Before you complain, obey first. And there is nothing like your refusal to the command of your superior should be your resignation. You don't say, no, I cannot go. If they command you to go to Imo State to shoot at sight, and you are from Imo State, you can never say no. You can't object it. There is nothing like objection in the zoo military. Nothing. That one I'm sure 100%. There is nothing like objection in the zoo military when your superior commands you. Your objection is, I know they do it again. You leave your uniform for them, leave your AK-47 for them, leave the barrette. You resign. That is your objection. You cannot be in the military and object the command of your superior. It is not possible. That is what I said. I also said that I don't know about other countries, but the zoo, this is how it is. And this foolish coward was writing on the comment section. I don't know if I can find the comment. He said that he's the one who insulted me. I don't even have time to start searching for that comment because I have a lot of comments in the comment section. He's the one that insulted me. And that is the reason why I gave him the link. And he came here to use some, hip-hop American words on me. Are you okay? Are you okay? You came here to use hip-hop words on me. That shows that you are not mannered. You don't have manners. You don't have manners. If you want to use that kind of words, I believe there are other hip-hop channels here in the zoo that you can join, where you can say, hey, what's up, nigga? These are all those rubbish. You go there and say it. Not in a Biafra platform. We are fighting for freedom, and you came here to tell me about what's up and the other one you said, which I can't even mention. So next time, first of all, when you want to join, you must change your name. I'm not good at blocking people because I can see you in the comment section. I'm not good at blocking people. If not, I would have just clicked the blocking button. I will click it, but I'm not going to block you. But next time when you are coming, if you want to comment, don't join with your name, because once I see your name, I cannot allow you to comment because you lack manners, and not just lacking manners, you don't know how to talk. You are such a coward. You can't speak. You are such a coward. For you to use that word, meaning you don't know what we are doing. You think this is a childish play. Why I am talking to him is because I believe we still have some people like him out there. So with this, others like him can learn. This platform is not for such nonsense. And on that note, we have come to the end of this very broadcast. I thank you so much, you all listening to me right now. May God bless you. Thank God for Nnamdi Kanu. Thank God for all lovers of freedom. Thank you. Thank God for Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. May God bless every one of you who have joined me live, and those of you who are financing this very movement for the restoration of the kingdom of Chukwokika here on earth, Biafra land. I thank every one of you. May God bless you. Please, those of you who I could not be able to bring to the screen to speak, I want to apologize, but tomorrow will always be another day. If you do not do it today, you will do it tomorrow. May God bless you all. Thank God for this victory, because if you haven't seen the victory, I don't know if you can see properly. If you haven't seen the victory, then I can't help you. I'm sorry. So we have to thank God and be grateful to God for this very victory. And Chukwokika Biama, God in heaven, who has started this very journey, will do it to the very end of it. And he will continue doing it until Biafra is fully restored. I bless all of you. I also pray for the government in exile and the entire cabinet members, and of course the formidable Biafra Republic government in exile media team. I say may God bless every one of you. All Biafrans supporting what we are doing in one way or the other. Thank you all. Good night and goodbye from me. I love you all.